The story she told at the end of her life is different than the story you read day to day in the letters.
I'm getting to like you so tremendously that it sometimes scares me. Having told you so much of me, more than anyone else I know, could anything else follow but that I should want you?
Alfred Stieglitz, at the beginning of the 20th century, was much more famous than George O'Keeffe. He was the preeminent dealer for modern art in America. He's the man that introduced artists like Pablo Picasso to the United States for the first time. When Georgia O'Keeffe first started conversing with him in 1916, she was a complete unknown, and he was a famous, practically celebrity in the art world.
What do I want from you?
The two of them are incredible correspondents. They begin writing to one another early on in 1916, and they continue, sometimes several times a day, sending letters back and forth until his death in 46.
Do I want anything from her that she hasn't already given me over and over again?
They first started conversing in 1916. She had actually known of his gallery and of him for a while prior to that. She would go to his gallery and listen to him talk, look at the exhibitions of work he was presenting. But she never introduced herself. She was, kind of intimidated by this great man when she was just a young student. A decade later, very interestingly, she made a comment to one of her friends. If Alfred Stieglitz liked what I'm doing, that would mean more to me than anything else in the world. Her friend took that comment to heart and sent some of her drawings to Alfred Stieglitz. Stieglitz was very impressed with the drawings. He actually arranged an exhibition and put them on view. He didn't have O'Keeffe's permission. He didn't even spell her name correctly, but he thought these were important and worth showing. She confronted him. She actually went to New York and asked him what he was doing with her drawings. Supposedly he said, "You don't know what these are. You don't know how significant they are." And she wrote back or responded and said, "I absolutely do know what I'm doing."
Dearest, you are so much to me that you must not come near me. Coming may bring you darkness instead of light, and it's in everlasting light you should live.
Early on, you see a very bright, very engaged, very independent woman who's making choices about how she wants to live. That continues the entire time through all of the letters.
There is much life in me. I realized I would die if I could not move towards something.
By 1918, Stieglitz has convinced O'Keeffe to move to New York City to paint for a year, to set aside her teaching career and try being a full-time artist for a year, and he offers to subsidize that year to see if she can make a go of it. By 1924, they're married.
All the drawings, all the letters, perhaps they set mad dreams a-going.
Through the 1920s, their love blossoms, but they also have some difficulties. He has an affair. She eventually comes to New Mexico in 1929, and from that point forward, they begin renegotiating the terms of their relationship.
I don't want you to worry a bit about me. There was much more cause to worry about things when I was right beside you.
There's this great sense of her as a real three-dimensional person, a real living entity that gets lost in a lot of the histories. You also see a sense of her being very adventurous, very witty.
You really need have no regrets about me. You see, I have not really had my way of life for many years.
When she spends her first summer in 1929, Stieglitz is bereft. He truly feels at a loss without her.
The sun is gone, it's clouding up. Perhaps I'm afraid that I am steering you for pain. The sun is gone, perhaps I'm afraid that I am steering you for pain. I am broken.
He's destroying some of his artwork. She's responding to him and saying, "I think the best thing I can do for you is to stay here."
Today it rains.
What we find in the letters is a woman who is completely in love with New Mexico, who is loving living here, loves the landscape, is inspired by it, feels that this is a place where she can be herself and she can spread her wings and fly in many ways. And that's a sense that you don't get from those kind of staged shots taken late in life.
I hope this letter carries no hurt to you. It is the last thing that I want to do in this world.
I think one of the surprises of the letters, once they were revealed, is the depth of love and the depth of passion between the two of them, and the way in which that changed over the course of their relationship. Reading the letters, I sometimes think there couldn't have been two other people in the world who would understand one another so well and share so much. That is what comes through in the letters, is this lasting, abiding love for one another. The nature and character of that love changes, as with many relationships, but it never diminishes.